All right, quick little video. The painting is 99.9% done. Ended up getting that cut in. I forgot the name of the viewer. I was gonna actually look at the video before I made mention or made this one, but he suggested there's an easier way to make the cut in with some kind of roller from Lowe's or Home Depot. I'll have to check it out because I have the rest of the house to paint, and this certainly takes a while to just make the cut. So this was all freehand, which was, I guess I was just working on the steadiness of my freehand. Turned out well. I didn't mind it. I could have gone a little bit higher right here, but time to move on. Just kind of mop the floor also, just because I'm gonna be putting a toolbox back here. Now that this wall is completely painted. Got that, like I said, all that stuff painted. This exhaust vent reinstalled. I now know why they didn't like vent it out the side right there. I'm not sure why they didn't go straight up. Maybe it's the bathroom. That's what it is. It's the bathroom. So there's a master right above here, and the tub is going to be right here. So that would make sense why they had to bring it over here. And not go straight up through there. It's kind of feel, I don't know, I don't like it. If this was gonna be a permanent house, I would definitely do a reinstall, at least like go up against the wall, like a 90 up against the wall and stuff. But there might be codes and stuff against how much angle you can put into an exhaust vent. I don't know, but, and then I looked out the side and I was like, why not just put it out the side? And that's because it's an exhaust vent and you got a bedroom up there. So obviously you don't want all that gas and stuff going upwards and potentially going inside the house. Anyway, finally got this painted, did my best. So I'm glad I was able to take this apart. So I just undid it right here at the collar. I just undid it right there. Took it down, and I was able to kind of squeeze my way in here. It was kind of tough doing it, but nonetheless, as you can see, this was probably my worst cut in just because it was such an awkward angle. And then getting to the backside, you can't see it, but I had to pretty much rub the side of the paintbrush as close to the wall as possible. So that paintbrush is destroyed. And of course I had the gas turned off and I had the igniter turned off while I was doing this. But nonetheless, the little exhaust vent was slightly warm. And then I was able to take off those foam insulation also to get as close to the pipe as possible and, you know, give me as much clearance. But that was all just kind of formed around it. Yeah, I got that little PVC slightly painted. Yeah, so the paint job is pretty much done. Like I said, it's time to move on. It's been a long, arduous process. Last thing I got to do is this little trim right here. Once I move the toolboxes, I'll just knock it out. It's probably going to take 2 coats because whatever the thing is that was over it, I had to strip it off because it was like peeling. So that is like a bare metal, and then it just takes the first layer kind of sees through. I kind of you can see. And so I'll have to go over it with a second layer, but I'll be able to do that today. Just be done with that. And then the last thing I have to do is around, like I said, around the garage door that you can't really see when the door is open. I don't really like my cutting over there. I did it freehand and I did it with a tape. So I might readdress that at some point in time. But like I said, the big stuff is done. And then once I get some space right here for this door, I probably should have done it early. I'll just do the cut around that door, just to trim like this part. I'll just tape it up and do it. But right now I'm just focused on getting all this stuff situated as much as possible. That's the primary focus. I can finalize the box. So to be honest, I'm kind of over the painting process. So I might take a break from painting, minus that part, of course. And even then I might just leave it until, actually, I'll leave this part until that is ready, so I can just do it all in one paint. That's what I'll do. So it's best to just do all the prep work and stuff before you start doing stuff. But yeah, and then this, I can see that. I got to go back. I'm just gonna let it drip, but I painted this PVC and it's dripping right there because I don't know why. I keep like trying to clean it up, but it keeps dripping off. So I'm just gonna let it drip, and then I'll dab a piece of gray over the white spot. Call it good, because I'm tired of doing that. But yeah, I'll try to get as much done today as possible so I can enjoy my day tomorrow. Christmas, or at least started Christmas Eve tonight. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and jack this thing up and change the wheels. Yeah, I got them over there. So this is on the to-do list right now, so I can move it in place. As far as this being the only 20 amp GSCI in the garage, and I need a 20 amp for this lift, there's a plug on the outside. I just haven't determined whether or not it's working yet, or if it's just a GSCI that is bad, or it was disconnected or something. But it should just be a quick like reset, but the reset is not working. So this might be bad, so I got to replace it, and hopefully it works. If it works, then I have something accessible for this lift, because I can't keep plugging it into a 15 amp and tripping the breaker. That's not good for anything. So the plan was to get an extension cord that I could, had a 90-degree bend that wouldn't stick out too much, but I can't find one of those. I got plenty of extension, but they're all straight. You know what I'm saying? So like, get a long enough pigtail to plug in, but instead of it being straight, it had a 90-degree bend and was more flush than this, because every inch of space is needed around here. So, and then the problem that I'd run into is that if this thing tripped, then I'm gonna have this massive Icon toolbox in the way, and certainly it's not gonna be worth my time to slide it back to reset a trip breaker. So, I'm gonna plug the Icon, the back of this Icon in there. So this bad boy, I'm gonna plug it in there because the Icon is gonna be right here, the bottom chest. So now plug this in there, and if it trips, it trips. It's not gonna be the end of the world. I don't tend to leave stuff plugged in my garage anyway, so that's the plan. But yeah, I'm gonna go outside, get some scrap pieces of 2x4, because when I jack this stuff up, I don't want this thing coming down, especially using my first time Craftsman jack. So I'm gonna get something else to support the weight of this thing. And then my buddy's supposed to come over. Either I can call him today or call him, he's gonna come over tomorrow for dinner. He's gonna help me to install the stuff, but I'm gonna try to do it myself. Because why not? Yeah, so that's a little update. That's what's been going on. Super happy about getting done with a painting job. It looks good. I'm not gonna lie, and it's gonna look even better once I get this decluttered, which could very well be today, as far as the big boxes out of the place, and then finding all the bolts to bolt them together. And like I said, the little touch-up paints that I have, that's gonna go really fast. But it's time to move on to more projects around the house. Super glad I got in this part done right here. I mean, it's perfect. Like I said to the viewer, and yeah, I certainly appreciate your input. The plan to put a door here just is not really feasible. Just based on how many like little connections are hanging around here, and then it doesn't impede on the use of the garage. It's not on the floor or anything. It's just in its own little cutout, so it works. If it was like sitting right here, it would have been like, it would have had like two little like columns to prevent someone from running into it, and that would have taken up floor space. But right there is going to be that drill press, so it's not going to be impeded as far as like airflow or anything, or accessibility, because again, this drill press is on wheels. Yeah, so let me get after it, and I'm gonna have to change out the wheels on opposite sides. it is what it is. Let's do it. Anyway, let me know if you like on anything.